He said, get the checkbook out.
Oh, I don't even know where to start with this. This is a massive bit of news.
Why are guys the same? Why do they all want us to go and be really social? Snuggy.
I can't really see why I'd not be there full time.
Oh my God, this opens up a whole new conversation. Morning, Ryan.
Morning, Louise.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Deflection. Ryan is the master in the art of deflection.
No, I'm not.
I'm good. I've got a bit of a funny day today. I don't know. All morning I've been dealing with a tenant who needs a new dishwasher.
Oh.
So I've been trying to decide whether to get a silver one or a white one. They're really expensive.
Big decisions.
Later on, I've got a lady coming to the house and we're going to finalize my will.
Oh, gosh.
So, and in between that, we are chatting about all sorts. It's a mixed life.
I'm liking your little ballerina outfit today.
Thank you.
With your little hair bun.
Yeah, you're looking pretty decent as well.
Sporty. I've had a haircut yesterday. I've gone full sport mode again.
Well, Leah's got school photos and you decided to go and get a very intense mullet cut for him yesterday, which is fab.
Very intense.
It is. I was stroking his hair in bed yesterday morning, and because Toto has gone bald on his tummy, and I'm quite worried about it. So I took him and Koji to the vet at the beginning of this week just to make sure that they are all good. And then I was stroking Leo's head. I was like, are you going bald as well?
Don't be silly.
It's just really, this guy's obviously thinning his hair. I like it when it's all like little, he looks like a little chick and it's all thick and bushy. Mm-hmm. And now it's really tidy.
It's not really, you can't just say he's got a really aggressive mullet and then say it's really tidy.
It is.
They don't go in the same sentence.
Yeah, aggressive mullet is like tidy mullet, like short sides, short up top, and then just like a bit longer around the neck.
Oh, I think he looks so cute.
He does look cute.
And as always, he sits on that little plank of wood in the barber's chair and just like watches himself in his own little trance. It's so cute.
Yeah, he's awesome. We've got a pretty major he said this week.
Go on then.
He said, get your, swear word, checkbook out.
I did say that. Do you remember when and where exactly that happened?
Well, yeah, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't have brought it up.
No, but do you remember where exactly?
No, I don't.
I do.
Okay, tell me where. Because this is such a you comment as well.
Oh, I don't even know where to start with this. This is a massive bit of news, potentially. I think you should go with this one.
We're going to put an offer on a house, which is exciting. Today is the day. We could procrastinate and prolong and just not do it and get really scared, but we're going to do it today.
Today's the day.
So we viewed a house on Friday. On the journey to the Cotswolds, said location, I had to give Ryan a bit of a pep talk at the beginning because you were still being quite like resistant to the whole thing, and your kind of mentality was that, do we want to go and waste more of our time on a Friday? Time is so precious. So I'm basically going to be a chauffeur for 4 hours, driving us all the way out to the sticks. We're not going to find anything we like. And I feel like you were just having a lot of doubt. I wasn't getting the excitement that I wanted from you. And we turned up at this house. It was the first house we saw on Friday?
Yes.
Yes. And you got out of the car and your eyes literally went, ding! Jackpot. Yeah. And you went, get the checkbook out. And then I was like, shh, don't let them know that we like it.
It wasn't quite as soon as that when I said that line to you.
Yeah, but you pulled up and I could hear the like crunchy gravel on the driveway underneath the car wheels, and I could just see your face like ding, ding, ding.
It was, or it is, so beautiful, that house. I can't quite believe it. I know that
excited.
There's a lot of stepping stones in front of us now in order to see it through, but it is really exciting. And strangely enough, that was the very first house that we were given as like a brochure on email to look at.
A while ago? Yeah, like back. A good few months ago.
And this same house, we sort of looked at it, loved it, and we were like, oh my gosh, we're off to a flying start. This is exactly where we, in our minds at the time, we were like, this is it.
Yeah.
But then that property, I think, went under offer soon after. It was taken off the market. And then weeks and months down the line, it comes back onto the market exclusively for us, apparently.
No, what do you mean it's not exclusively for us?
No, as in like it's not on market, but like because we were like in the queue to see it back. You know what I mean? Like they're like, just to let you know, we're back in.
Yeah, I think that they had an onward purchase fall through, so that then the people that were going to buy the house also fell through. It didn't fit with their timelines, and it's a bit of a juggling act, this whole business of trying to buy somewhere. But luckily that worked in our favour. So we got to see this beautiful home, and so much of our lives are public. And I feel like this project, part of us wanting to kind of get a little retreat outside of town is to have a little pocket of privacy. So I love the idea of getting really excited with you. Like this is actually an opportunity in our week where we don't get to like, you know, hang out that much because we're busy working, where we get to get really excited about something. And I can literally, I've got you sat here. We can talk about all the logistics, the pros and cons of the house, the things we like, the things we need to change, the next steps, the surveyor's fees, all of that kind of stuff, because I've got some of your time. But there are then obviously things that we will be keeping private because just from like, yeah, I think just to protect our
I don't think
stuff.
you really need to justify that piece, yeah.
Well, but also because we haven't got it, I don't want other people then to know what we're talking about.
No, this for me, I don't usually like to talk about things that aren't concrete or definitely happening. But I think we should start manifesting.
Okay, let's
start manifesting.
We've obviously, it is happening because we've already moved half of our furniture into storage. We've also started talking to Leo about the house with the big garden. We're like, yeah, don't worry, you can have your white bike back when we move into the big house with the big garden. Yeah. So everyone, we're kind of really leaning into it. Please don't fall through. We did have a call from our buying agent yesterday who said that it's going to be delayed by 6 weeks. Anyway, let's start with the house. So we pulled up. It's beautiful. It's got wisteria on it, which is, I think, very meaningful for me because I grew up in a street in Notting Hill and there was a beautiful white stucco building that had wisteria growing up it. And I always thought, gosh, it'd be so cool to have a home with that purple flower.
Yeah. Was that the first thing you noticed when you arrived? Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
And then...
Do you know what I noticed first?
What did you,
the carport.
Oh my God.
Like the wooden, like timber frame carport. I was like, oh, talk to me. Was
Why
with like logs
so
stacked
uncool?
up in there.
I didn't even see the carport.
God, I'm not surprised.
What, that like small wooden, it's like a shack?
It's not to be fair, it's not the biggest, but it's a carport nonetheless.
Basically, it's just 4 wooden planks.
No, it's not
with
just that.
A tin roof on top like this.
It's no. I mean, you've played it down, which is humble and kind of cool, but it's not that. It's much nicer.
Talk me through why a guy likes a carport.
We've discussed this before. I use the example we have now. We don't have a driveway at all. I have to put the car on the curb or the main road. The idea of having a carport is like, oh, you've got some shelter. You can like put your stuff away. You can pack your boot without anyone giving you a ticket. I can just tinker out there.
Okay.
I don't really know what I'm doing with the car, but I can just tinker out
We literally
there.
have TaskRabbit around here every day.
Yeah. My motorbike will be in there as well. I'll just be like, oh. It's like my little bat cave.
How do you feel about the fact that this house is actually in a village? So it doesn't, you mentioned drive there. It's not got a huge drive.
Oh, sorry. No.
So it's got like a little gravel driveway. There's no turning circle. I feel like we've
learned so much. Or a turning wheel, as you called it.
I called it a turning wheel yesterday. So some houses have a turning circle, which is where you drive in and there's a circle in the middle of the drive so you can all turn around and then exit again.
That's for the big dogs.
That's elite. We did actually look at one house.
There's no private road attached to this one.
No, so we do have neighbours, but then we had a little like pootle through the town afterwards, didn't we? And I forced you to talk to that woman on the side of the road.
She definitely knew who we were.
Ask her some questions.
She was like, "Oh, hello." I was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I've just a few questions."
I literally was like, "Roll down your window, Ryan. Ask her where you can get a
ice cream."
I didn't say ice cream. I said a pint of milk. And
sweet
because there was a sweet school in the village.
Get back to the house.
Okay.
Also,
I've already checked out the massive manor house. So I think a big part of choosing somewhere to live is like scoping out the neighbours. And the other houses all look nice.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think there's 4.5, you'd say 5 bedrooms.
I don't know where this half comes from.
Because one of the rooms is a half room.
What, because of the roof sort of angle?
Yeah, it's like an attic.
Well, it was the way that they have it set up with 2 single beds and the little dollhouse and the little, was it their like painting setup with their easel and paints? It was a very nice room. And every room in that house has got a beautiful view of green rolling hills with sheep and horses. Oh.
Yeah, the views were really good.
Continue the tour. So we've got 5-bedroom house with wisteria on the outside. We've got a carport outside and we've got a manor farm estate next door.
So the feng shui is really good. Like you walk in, these are the things that I mean, a lot of people obviously can't afford this, but in London, you definitely are not going to have a space to hang up your coats. Like we really lack storage in this house, but this place had an actual cloakroom. So somewhere to just put all your shoes and your coats. Genius. So little things. And there was such a nice flow, I think, through the whole house. So it was pretty lateral, come through. On the left, there's a converted garage, which is now a gym.
Which will be a playroom.
Really glad that you're on board with that one. So I think it's so nice to have a space just to shut away all of the toys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that also feels like quite a safe room because you can shut all of the doors, but also you can see into that room from the kitchen if you wanted to.
Yeah, actually even further from the kitchen.
There's this kind of corridor and you get a view from the left side of the house, like the furthest point on the left, right the way through, kind of 5 rooms through to then the living room on the right, which is really nice. I'm all about like a through flow, like having nice energy, being able to flow.
It would almost be like this, if that wall wasn't there, you'd be able to see from where Harry sat right through to the garden.
Yeah.
Which would be quite nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And one of the houses that we were very close to putting an offer on my birthday in March was beautiful. It was a beautiful house. It was great. It was like really remote. It did have a long personal driveway. It was on 8 acres, but you couldn't get out of the house very easily. So while you might have this nice view out of a window, there weren't doors to get outside.
Yeah.
So if you saw your child playing around in the garden or like having an accident or something, you'd literally have to go through 4 different rooms to then be able to get outside.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's not that convenient.
Yeah, so this house has got a really good configuration of hallways, corridors, rooms, access in and out.
Yeah, you felt
Quite
like it was big enough.
Well.
Yeah, the ceilings were good because it was actually built in the 60s. So it's not grade 1 or 2 listed, which means that it might be easier to do a bit of work too.
And they've put an extension on, but they've sort of married it up beautifully so it doesn't stick out.
Well, I didn't realize how important the exterior of the house was to you.
Yeah, massively.
So we looked at a few things the week before and you hated all of them.
I did.
I think because they just didn't have curb appeal, like they didn't look right. And I guess for you, like you really want to feel proud of your home and you want to feel like you want to invite people there and kind of show it off.
Yeah.
I think you definitely buy into that probably a bit more than me. So when I'm looking at something, I just see walls and a square room and I look at like how many square rooms there are. Are they square? How big are they? And are there windows and is there light?
Yeah, well, fair enough.
But this one definitely ticked the boxes.
This is maybe we've seen 10 or 12 different places.
Yeah.
And I suppose we've changed our budget a little bit along the way, so the parameters have changed.
So we reduced our budget, so we are compromising on some stuff.
Well, that's what I was about to get to. Yeah, you do have to embrace the idea of compromising on something, whether it's like the size of the garden or just the general land that you're sat on. Smaller bedrooms upstairs for a bigger kitchen downstairs. I don't know, a single garage instead of a... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the exciting part with this house is that I feel like there's less of a compromise. It ticks more of our boxes to the point where we're like, this is nearly perfect, which is hard unless you've got an endless budget.
Yeah. And we literally cut off 25% of the budget. So what are the pros and cons? Pros, looks nice from the outside. Wisteria.
Carport.
Views of you're absurd. Views of sheep. Because the animal thing for us is really important because I would love Leo to be able to point and go like, oh, that's George the sheep out there.
Yes.
Or like, oh, should we go and ask the farmer whether we can go and help him
sit on his tractor,
groom the horses or sit on his tractor, go and like feed an apple to somebody.
When I was a kid, I pulled a calf at my friend's farm. Leo could be like getting real dirty on the farms, couldn't he? Do you understand what pulling a calf is?
Pulling it out of the vagina.
Shoulder right in.
So this is you being the doula again. You're the vagina doula that we spoke about a few episodes ago.
Someone messaged me who we both know. She was like, "Can you stop saying the word vagina on the podcast?" She was like, "Can you call it like a cooch or something?"
Well, okay, let's come up with a word then.
I like cooch.
No.
Right. What do you want to call it then? Don't you have like an internal like girls only code for it?
I was going to say something disgusting. I'm not.
Let's get into the house.
No, but hang on. Let's actually, because we need to think of a word that we can use forever in perpetuity, so we don't keep cussing on the pod.
Okay, I'm
because at one point our son will grow up and listen to this and be so humiliated.
I'm looking at things in front of me and I'm trying to take an inspiration.
What
the pig?
You can see the pig book. No, we're not going to call it the pig. That's disgusting.
Well, come on.
Okay. I'm going to actually get my phone out and I'm going to quickly have a look at
funny names.
No, nice names.
Nice names.
Nice nicknames. Front bottom. Brian, say front bottom.
Yeah, front bottom. Yeah.
Drop that into a sentence.
Yeah, that'd be easily.
Okay, go on then. So you pulled this calf out of the
back bottom, not the front bottom.
It's not the back bottom. They don't give birth out of their bum. Vag. Can I just read out a few of these?
Vag.
I don't want to make this podcast so inappropriate, but for JJ, vagine, flower, honey pot, hoo-ha, vag, beaver.
No, I've got it. Hoo-ha. Let's call it a hoo-ha.
Kitty. Foof.
Or foof. Hoo-ha or foof.
Snatch. Oh my God, this one is penis snuggie. What?
Peanut? No, that's not.
Thanks. This is Gemini. I'm just on Google.
No.
Jumper, lady parts. Why do you call it lady parts? That's quite cute. Oh.
Let's just get back on track here.
Fanny. My cousin used to get called Fanny. Oh God. What were we talking about?
It's the pros list. We're on the pros list.
Okay, yeah.
So we've got front and backyard.
Animals.
We've got loads of green, luscious lawn.
You can see a church spire from the bedroom windows on the top floor, the back windows.
There's no main road.
Really nice.
There's no sounds of traffic.
There are windows in every bathroom.
There is
good for ventilation.
Outdoor kitchen setup, which you may or may not know, but I've tried to build one here in our place in London, which I adore. And I cook most of my meals out there.
Yeah.
I would say. This place has got like a shelter, beautifully built thing that they did over COVID with fairy lights and I know that they'll probably take most of it, but it's just great to have that space where I can slot into.
Yeah, okay. So that's what you're going to do with that space.
Yeah. It's also got a really big shed, which means all of our bikes, roof tents, all that stuff can go in one spot.
It's not that big, the shed.
Well, no, it is. It's just that you probably didn't take much notice of it.
Flat lawn.
Flat lawn.
We really wanted a flat lawn so that we could kick a football around.
Massive trees that shelter the wind.
We did see a house which was beautiful the week before. Stunning house. Gave like proper holiday feels. I felt like I was walking into a really cool house, and I've never been to Australia. You said Australia. I felt like I was in South Africa, like a cool like beach house. Like really tiled, very white, amazing glass panels. Had a great flow. But then we went outside and I was like, are we in a wind turbine? Great views, but you couldn't sit out there for longer than 2 minutes without putting on an anorak, even in peak summer. And so if we wanted to host people, laying a table, put a tablecloth on, a couple of glasses, on the floor within seconds.
So it's an interesting thing to consider things like wind when you're looking at a house.
You were like, it'll be fine.
This is really amazing, because that view, I don't think you'd struggle to beat that view. That was like really, you've got an unspoilt view of the whole valley and beyond. And the house was great. And I was like, this is really interesting. This is a curveball. Didn't know that this was going to be such a promising potential. But then the wind became such a deal breaker.
Freezing.
Just became, because then you're like, actually, there's a reason why their garden furniture and there's a reason why they're sat around the back of the house looking at nothing but like a fence or a wall. It's because they're sheltering from the wind. At which point you go and ask them if this is normal. And they were
You've got to ask people.
And they were so sweet.
I need all of the answers, but I don't have the bollocks to go and ask the questions. So I literally got like a hot rod in Ryan's back. They were so sweet.
She was like, yes, it's so windy. And then the estate agent called us after to be like, I think they might have put their foot in it with the wind and the honesty part.
Aw.
So yeah, the pros list is pretty padded out. Cons list wasn't that exciting, really. Nothing to...
Well, no, there's a huge compromise with this one. It's got a fairly small back garden. So in a dream scenario, we would have garden that wraps around from the front to the back and you can access from the side.
Which you can.
Which you can just through, because it's in a village. There are houses that are close by, but at least it's not attached. And there's a little bit of space either side, which is nice. The back garden is a lot smaller than the front garden.
Yeah.
And the front garden is attached to a road. Luckily, the road is sunken. So you don't have a view of the road when you're in the front garden. It's actually lower down, which is nice. That's quite rare. But it doesn't give us a lot of opportunity in terms of adding value over the next 3 to 5 years. Because if we had more land, so we have looked at some places that are like 2, 3, 4, up to 10 acres. And then you have options to sell fields off, to try and get planning to extend, or you can get one of those like little, I was going to call them a trailer, but the very pretty like little kind of bobbiny huts. You can get...
Shepherd's huts.
Shepherd's huts, yeah. So you could have little outhouses that you could either rent out or people could come and stay. And there's just opportunity. There's more opportunity. And then, if in 3 years' time we could afford to build a pool or a pond or tennis courts, that kind of stuff, we're a bit limited here because it's a village house. But it offers something very different. And I think, the conversation that we've been having, which is an important one, is like remembering what the purpose of this house is for us. Perfect doesn't exist.
This was
we can't afford perfect.
Close.
And actually this for us is a space to potentially take Leo out of nursery for a half day on Friday through till Sunday to enjoy as a family and to heal.
It's also pretty much arrive with your bags, turn the key and you're in. Like it's ready to go. This is not like, we're not taking on a massive project with this. There'll be some small things to change, maybe a lick of paint somewhere and carpet changes.
Yeah.
But
there's also a mega fireplace, which is cool.
That's good.
It's like literally the size of that kitchen.
That's a good. It's not the size of the kitchen, but it is big.
Hang on. Okay, it's bigger than this whole wall.
It's a big fireplace.
It's maybe the size of this whole wall. Not like it doesn't go up to the ceiling.
Half this wall.
No, it's not half the wall, Ryan. It's the whole width of this wall.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the width of this wall.
And then the height, it's like up to the top of that.
What's the next steps then? Because there will be people listening who might have experienced this or going through it now. This is all quite new to me, by the way. So it's a learning experience. But so what we got the agency fees, we got surveyors fees, solicitors, or was it a residential lawyer? We got all these stamp duties and hidden bloody costs. It makes it's a real roller coaster, isn't it, with this thing? Because like you look at it and you're like, this might actually be possible for us. And you get super excited and you almost like mentally move in, don't you? You're like, this is going to be great for summer and Christmas.
Yeah.
And then you start driving away from the place, and then you start getting emails or texts from the person helping us. It's like, can you please get a mortgage in principle? Can you prove your funds? Can you take a look at the fees for this lawyer who you will have to use? Then look at the solicitor's fee or whatever it is. And it's like, oh my gosh. And you move up a bracket in the stamp duties. Like,
yeah.
Oh. And it quickly becomes like, maybe we can't do this. How is this ever going to work? How does anyone buy a house for that matter?
Well, it's really hard. But I think really it's just putting in the offer.
Right.
To put us in a better position for them to want to accept it, we should get the mortgage in principle written up so that they then know how serious we are and they know that we can move quickly.
Okay.
Proof of funds, same kind of thing. And then, we just need to instruct a good solicitor who can work with their solicitor, but they're expensive. And I suppose because it's outside of London, it maybe comes with a few more complications. And then we have to work out our mortgage repayments. And this is where I've been trying to teach you about the financial spreadsheet, Ryan.
Yeah, it's working.
Is it working? Yeah. Okay, well done.
Mate, I'm all over this.
Ryan's doing his monthly reporting now.
I'm reconciling like your dad.
Then you work out how much you've saved, and then you can figure out how much is left over for the mortgage.
Yes, thank you for that.
But yeah, so it's very exciting, and we could be in. I mean, ideally it was going to be beginning of August, but I think that they've had some issues with their onward purchase. So maybe September time. As long as we're in for Christmas, because my side of the family are hosting Christmas this year. Should we message the buying agent now and say, let's put in the offer?
Oh my gosh, that's big. Yes.
And I don't know why we keep doing this now on the podcast. We did this with Jack with the wedding.
No, I like it. It's accountability.
But it is accountability. And like, if we don't do it now, then we won't do it. So this podcast is encouraging us to move our life forward.
Do it.
You know, Jack replied to me, by the way, just a quick nod to that episode.
Oh, handsome Jack.
He said, please get married at Forest. Have fun. I'm so sorry I missed Rye's message. I'd love to be your umpire. I've never seen the word umpire written out like that.
What is the actual name for a wedding?
An umpire is like a tennis umpire.
No, a cricket umpire. But what's the wedding?
Efficient. Yeah, that'll do.
I preferred umpire.
He needs to get ordained.
Ordained. Well, are we actually going to...
Anyway, I said, haha, I thought you'd maybe listen to me calling you hunky in the episode. But I'm not
Louise,
sure
stop flirting with him. You're like trying to take his attention onto that part of the message. Oh, did you see my...
Let's message.
Are we about to do this?
What do we say?
Here's our offer. Please put it forward.
And you feel really good about this because my concerns are that we've still only seen 10 places and the UK is a small country, but there are a lot of villages out there.
Yeah.
And we've not seen that many.
All fair.
That are, because we extended our distance, so we're now looking 2 hours from London. We feel really good about it. It just scares me because it's not got absolutely everything.
What I can only tell you, we operate differently. We both know that at this point, and most people listening probably do. You've got more of a deep analysis, you want to compile as much information as possible. For me, a lot of what I do, little and large, important or not in life, is dictated to by my gut instinct. And I kid you not, as soon as I arrived and I took my shoes off and went barefoot on the lawn. My gut instinct was kicking like a drum. And it was at that point, by the way, that I looked at you and I was like, get your checkbook out now.
And then when we were in the car on the way back afterward, or we were driving to the next house.
Get our checkbook out.
We turned up the music really loudly and then we were dancing and we were like, yeah, 10 out of 10. We found a 10 out of 10 house.
It might not be perfect. It might not have everything, but
even if we don't make money on it, and we might even lose money, if we wanted to sell in 3 years' time because we really wanted a swimming pool, then
again, I think we're looking at things still slightly differently. I'm taking the view that if we get this place, I can't really see why I'd not be there full time.
Wait, hang on. Oh my God, this opens up a whole new conversation.
No, but let me finish, please.
Well, firstly, I can't ever get stuck there and be locked, stuck in this house without you, because I would never want to drive back on my own. But also, oh my gosh, the logistics of this. What if I suddenly have to get back to London for a meeting and you're like, oh, I want to stay here?
It's an hour's train to Paddington. You'll figure it out, my dear.
Okay. And what if you then just want to spend all your time in the country and then we basically pass like ships at night?
That's probably no different to what's happening now. I feel so good about this house, and I think it's going to be an immediate resolution to a lot of what's missing for you, for me, for Leo. I am not forecasting past that at all. I'm just thinking that this is going to be a place of beautiful family memories for the next 3, 5, 10 years. I'm not thinking about capital gains or how can we improve it or what about a swimming pool. Bollocks to all of that. This place is picture perfect, postcard Cotswolds dream scenario. And we're that far away of making it a reality. So,
okay, let's go.
Yes! Oh my God, it's taken me 10 years.
But wait, oh my God. What do you mean it's taken you 10 years?
I don't know.
What did you do?
You've kept me in this prison of London for 10 years.
Are you for real? Babe, we have the most beautiful home and the most beautiful life here.
I know, but it's about to get a whole lot more beautiful. What was that line that you told me and Carlos the other day that you got from your therapist? It was it was something like just fucking do it and have fun on the way or something.
Oh, fuck around and find out.
Fuck around and find out. Let's go.
Which is a great line, to be fair. It's that's how you should live your life. Fuck around and find out. Just take some risks. What was the other one that I dropped in that day? Follow the fun.
Follow the fun.
Follow the fun. Okay. Like when you're making all your decisions, you just go fuck around and find out. Because actually there are no failings in life. Like you can't really make a mistake too big. Like there's always, a plan B. You can always crawl back from something as long as you don't end up in prison. So yeah, I guess let's just take a risk on it. And what's the worst that can happen? Okay, I'll just say we've decided.
I feel like I need to get naked. This is a big moment.
Get naked?
I'm getting hot.
Are you wearing anything under that jumper?
No.
Well, take it off.
No.
You work hard for that, bod.
Oh my God. My heart rate is skipping. Very little attention.
Okay.
I need to see proof.
All right.
You haven't done that, have
Imagine
you? I did texted someone else.
I did consider thinking it.
No, I need to see proof. I need to know where I'm at with this.
Okay. Don't if you're gonna. We
no,
can't read it out.
No, okay, I've got it. Yep. Yes.
I like how Ryan finally became enthusiastic this week, and you even decided to change the icon for the group. You went from like really depressing voice notes last week, being like, "This is just not working," to then this week, I woke up on a Monday morning and you put a daffodil picture as Project Country House icon. Love that from you. She's replying. Cool.
Oh,
okay.
Go on then.
Okay, great. So then I need to just sign off that whopping bell and the other bits too. Then we get a survey and then we go from there and hopefully it all comes back clear.
You're so clinical. You're like, yeah, this is what we need to. I'm like panicking.
My
in my
mind's
seat
just thinking
here.
of like the sheets, the like just the organizational stuff, which I'm very excited about because I love that. And also then I'm thinking about the next step. So
I'm thinking about logs and carports.
Yeah, what's the first thing that you're going to do then?
Wash my car on the drive.
Oh my God. You're not even joking?
I'm not even joking.
God, we're really authentic on this podcast. We don't even pretend to be cool.
Mate.
I feel like when we first started it, we were like, oh, let's try and be really grown up and educated with our conversation.
I'm going to cut the bullshit here. There's men that listen to this podcast. Men will resonate. Us men like the idea of having a driveway where you can tinker with your car and wash it and just have space and no one watching over you, all that stuff.
Okay.
This is a big thing for a man.
You don't need to do much tinkering to the car.
Do you know how many scratches you put on those alloys?
Like, what are you going to fix in
Alloy
that car?
repair
They make them
kit,
so
touch-ups.
complicated now.
What do you mean?
Wasn't back in the day. Remember we had this conversation?
Stop it.
Where
Stop it.
Cars, items that you invested in had a much longer shelf life back in the day, whether that was a dishwasher, which obviously I mentioned earlier, or a car. You could get your toolkit out and you could go, okay, like that connects to that. So I'll get a bit of a spanner out and I'll fix that. Now they make devices so complicated that everything only has a shelf life of 3 years. So you have to get a new car. You have to get a new dishwasher.
You're a professional plagiarizer. You just recycle people's conversations.
What?
This is your mum talking now.
This is a conversation me and my mum had.
But what recollection do you have of the old days where you could get your socket wrench out and just fix a spark plug? Your mum might actually have experience of this. You don't.
Well, listen, that's because...
By the way, a socket wrench definitely does not fix the spark plug, so someone will pick up on that.
Why have I never heard you talk about a socket wrench before? So
just wait until I get my garage.
There are things you can do that you just don't help out with because you're being lazy.
I do so much stuff that you don't know about. For example, I speak to Harry probably more than you do.
Harry, is that true? No. Exactly. Lies. Good. You always put me out for lying on the podcast, so I'm so glad that I can
No, but I just want to remind you that I do so much that I don't even tell you about.
Same. Everything. Everything the light touches as
that's fine.
In our favourite
movie. That's great.
Is down to the work of Louise.
Why are you looking over there? I built that.
That's just the one thing that you built in the whole house. So annoying. Name me one other thing you built.
Leo's whole nursery bar his new bed. Thank you.
Yeah, but you couldn't dismount it, could you? Anyway.
Let's talk about this weekend. I'm taking Leo camping, which buys you 2 days off from life.
That's actually quite nuts.
What are you going to do for 2 days? And are you excited?
I'm so excited.
Good.
I don't even know what to do with myself.
Please don't waste it, though.
So I was speaking to the girls about this yesterday. I said, if you guys had unlimited funds, not that I've got unlimited funds, and you had tomorrow off, what would you do with your time? And we threw around some really like provocative ideas. And then actually all of us came back to...
Watching The Real Housewives. all day
of just stripping everything away. Like, I can't remember the last time I had total peace and quiet for a full day, where I haven't had you in my ear, Leo barking at me, other people that I need to talk to, where I can just switch my phone off and just be. And I'm so excited. And I know that a lot of people would be like, oh, you should go and we floated a few ideas. So it's like, oh, you could go and like pay to get a blow dry, or like have a massage, or go to a spa, or like go and do something cool, like an activity.
How about see some friends?
Go and do like some exercise and do a class.
How about host a little barbecue of your own out there without me like trying to take over the barbecue situation?
So then we came to this and we were like, why? Because I said, Ryan would like me to go and do the bridge lesson or the golf lesson or the tennis lesson or hang out with friends. And they were like, oh my God, me too. Holly was like, Harry's the same. And we were like, why are guys the same? Why do they all want us to go and be really social? Like, why do you want us? What is it that would make you happy about me making plans for?
I can actually answer this question.
Can you?
Yeah. You love to do almost everything together. Like, you really love it. Like, you like to have me involved in every part of your life, which is very sweet. But you probably, like, you've already done it this week. If I spend time with friends, like training, or like this afternoon I'm going to my brother's house to like load the car up for camping with the same friend, you'll be like, God, you spend so much time with him, don't you? But it's almost like you're so wrapped up with the idea of us doing everything together that you've forgotten, or you don't, I don't know. So when it comes to like the idea of you seeing your friends, I'm like, sweet. Sweet. Go and get some interaction from your friends and I'll do something by myself. And it's kind of like that.
Do you know why this is making me laugh? Because I was actually watching a Real Housewives episode, an old Real Housewives of New York episode a few days ago. And Sonia, you know Sonia.
Oh, I know Sonia.
Kristen's new in the show and she's like younger, but she's like this female Lothario. And she was like giving advice saying, you need to just be really aloof, like go out for like 5 hours, do nothing, come back and just go, yeah, I've seen some friends. Yeah, I've just been like hanging out with my parents.
There you go.
I've just done this. And that's the way to a man's heart.
There
and this clearly is the way to a man's heart. So shall I just go out and be really mysterious? Because I then thought I'm going to just start going out for hours in the evening and I'll just come back and you'll be like, where have you been? And I'll just go, you know, just doing some business, like doing some stuff. I tried to do this to you, but remember, I used to be like, I've been at the pub. Even though I haven't been at the pub. Do you remember that? Where had you been?
I don't know. Anywhere but the pub at this point. I don't know where I was going. Probably nowhere.
So basically what this boils down to is that we need to spend some more time separately doing aloof activities.
Yes. But why don't you go and see the friends then this weekend? Is that what you're going to do?
No. Well, maybe I'm not going to tell you. Oh my God, I'm not going to tell you what I do this weekend.
I don't mind not having to ask you. I don't mind coming back after the weekend being like, what up? I'll be like, hey, we're back.
But then that's the thing, is like men just don't need to talk. So we will then be in silence and then I won't be able to ask you about the camping. So then we'll just, what kind of a relationship is that?
Probably a normal one. Well, have a nice 2 days.
Thank you, you too. Are you ready for a listener submission?
I'm ready.
Hey, Louise and Ryan. I love your pod. I listen every Wednesday morning on my hour-long commute to work. You guys cover such important issues in a really cool way, and I have so much respect for it. Keep doing you. My fiancé and I recently bought our first house together. However, after just 8 days of living here, my fiancé's parents told us they needed somewhere to put all of their stuff, as they are now moving back to Hampshire to be closer to us. They told, not asked, us that they'd be using our garage, which is filled with our things because our house is essentially being stripped back and needs an enormous amount of work. On top of that, they've also suggested that they'll need to live with us for a while until they find a place. I feel like my privacy is being seriously invaded and I feel really angry and hurt. It isn't their house to use, yet it's like they feel they're entitled to it. My fiancé told his parents that it couldn't happen and that we have too much on our plates doing up our house and working full time, mostly from home. It might be a big house, but it's ours. His dad flipped out and now won't speak to him.
Oh, no.
Am I being totally unreasonable? I'm worried that I'm causing a rift, but I also need boundaries in life. Please help.
Oh, gosh.
Oof. I actually think fair play to you guys for being boundaried. And they will hopefully process it and move on and like get over it.
I think it's really difficult for the fiance, for the bloke in this scenario, because he's started his new family with his fiance, bought a new house, embarked on this exciting new chapter, and he's like thrilled about it. And I'm sure he's very happy, but also like he's probably of the mindset that if his parents need something, like he can't say no, and his parents might be a little bit forthcoming with this idea, and he's like, oh my god, I'm getting myself backed up into the corner here, what do I do?
Do you say, okay, actually I love my parents so much, as long as it's short term, let's have them stay for a bit, and then they're going to be in Hampshire, which is helpful because they'll be close by, and then we can lean on them maybe when we have kids or something and we need babysitting. And it's kind of, it's give take, isn't it? Or do you say, like, this is a huge moment, like we've never actually bought a house together, like we're just moving in, because it's really exciting, like you buy your first house together, you want, it's a bit like, you know, I
can
thought
see where you're at with
wishfully, like when we had Leo, I was like, oh, it's our first child together, I really want to do things our way. So if you buy your first house together, you want to do things your way, you want the space, you want to be able to walk around in your pants, you want to be able to, like, you know, paint walls and enjoy that moment together. And if that is then immediately interrupted by other people, that maybe robs you a little bit of the joy of those kind of early memories together, building a house.
Yeah, I think both versions of what you just said are really quite valid. It's really difficult. It's probably one of those like slightly awkward, frosty conversations that we don't want to have with our parents, but it's just a case of fiance, the guy probably calling his mum or dad, being like, obviously we want to help you. We're blessed with some space, but this is not that convenient for us.
I think, like, timings wise, they also work from home.
Yeah.
So let's be honest, like, you're working from home.
What's more scary?
You just moved in. It's your only home. You're spending all of your time there, day and night, and then you lose all of your privacy. Like, when you go and stay with your parents, do you feel like you can be 100% you?
No.
And that's you, and they're your parents.
I know.
So when I stay with your parents, I'm probably only 50% me.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Now edging up towards more like 80, 90%.
I've forgotten that it's not just they're putting stuff in the garage, they're also moving in.
Yeah, they're moving in.
Yeah, this is quite a serious situation.
That's a serious situation. I really sympathise with you.
So,
like, you've probably not even got furniture yet. So at least if you had like all your stuff and you've got like sofas and chairs, you're like, oh, that's Dad's chair. That's going to be my chair. You've all got a spot that you can sit in when you sit around to watch TV at the end of a long day. Or if they're handy, just put them to work. Maybe they're just really, they need a bit of a, just get them painting and hanging up pictures.
Yes. This is quite funny though. They've edged themselves into the garage and they're like, oh, maybe we'll just move in for a few days, weeks. Task them out. Yeah, it's a good idea. That's a good idea. Make them, no, sorry, not make them. Encourage the situation to be like a benefit to you. Mum, there's an ironing board over there. Why
do all boys just want to have their like laundry done for them? Actually, everything done for them.
I'm just going to give you this as a real world example. When I go to Leo's bedroom upstairs,
the
lady across the way there, she's like in her kitchen, and near enough every time she's in the kitchen ironing her husband's shirts.
Yeah. And how does that make you feel?
I'm giving you a real world observation of what, this is not me with any loaded expectation. It's just what's happening around me.
When you see that though.
It just reminds me of home.
It reminds you of home. So that's quite nice. Basically, your mum has set a really high standard for the wives of her 3 sons.
Oh, really?
Because it actually has trickled down.
My mum is not ironing thinking of, oh, the standard, I'm going to be set for Louise.
No, totally unintentional. But like as a byproduct
that's
of
just
her
generational.
behaviour.
It's just how she
like
was.
Now, basically, all of you boys expect like a certain standard. And one of your brothers has got it and the other two
haven't. This is a different episode. I don't expect anything. I'm just giving you an observation of what's in front of me every day.
But the hard thing is I would love to be ironing, staring out. In fact, like, who knows? I might be doing that on the weekend.
I'd love to be a multi-millionaire footballer, but I'm not. Okay?
Can't have it all, Ryan.
You can only piss with the cock you've got.
And you've got this.
I've got that.
And I tick a lot of the boxes. That feels like such a lovely and relevant or timely submission. So thank you so much for sending it in. I don't think we have the perfect answer for you. It sounds like a really tricky situation, I'm going to be honest. And I'm just wishing you the best of luck. I'd love to hear how this all unfolds. And congratulations on the house purchase.
Yes. Very exciting.
Mega.
Thanks for listening to that episode. Louise, you were wonderful.
Thanks, babe.
Monday, our AMA comes out. Ask Me Anything episode, 20-minute segment. Ask us what you like.
Any questions,
We're
you
gonna
guys
pull
can find the
the
email in the
curtains
show notes.
all the way back, apparently, which is somewhat nerve-wracking. And then Wednesdays, as usual, we'll be back in these 2 seats to record another episode.
Awesome.
See you then.
See you then.